Hey, good evening. I told you I'm building a hot box so that I can cure my carbon parts. Well, I have a metal cabinet over here, and I went and I spent a few bucks on buying parts. You know what I discovered at Lowe's? Now, this is a Harbor Freight extension cord. This is a number 14, uh, or is it a number 16? No, it's a 14 gauge cord. I should have probably, well, it doesn't much matter because this will take 15 amp and at 25 foot. Anyway, this is a 25-foot cord. I'm going to cut it in half. We're going to build our heating element for the hot box. But what I discovered at Lowe's, I did some wiring in my house here a while back, and I run 10-3 with ground. They want $158 for 10 foot. That's $15.80 a foot for number 10 wire. That's ridiculous. Romex. Total garbage. Okay, we're going to cut 12 foot off of here. Be plenty to run this thing. Now, I was told that Danny, he runs his on a Variac. Well, I don't have a Variac, and I don't want to spend $100 for a Variac. So we're going to run a poor man's Variac. And I want to test it out before I put it in the box to make sure that it's going to work. That's 6 foot. You know, the easiest way to do this is just fold it in half and cut it because it's 25 foot long. So that'd be 12.5 foot. Why be difficult? This extension cord was $10 at Harbor Freight, and the socket was $3 at Harbor Freight. The bulb was $11, or not Harbor Freight. The socket was $3 at Lowe's, and the bulb was $11 at Lowe's. I had these boxes. The only thing that was expensive was this dimmer switch. That was $25. Okay, let's cut this up here. Okay, it does have black and white. That's good. I was going to run all this box inside, you know, the switch and everything inside the cabinet, but I got to thinking about it because I got some styrofoam with aluminum foil on one side. I'm going to insulate the inside of the box. If I put this inside the box, that switch will get awful hot. So we don't want to do that. We're going to bolt it to the outside. So I'm going to have a fan inside there. So I'm going to cut off 2.5, 3 foot. That'll be plenty to go anywhere I need to go for a fan. I think 2.5 would be fine. Let me switch camera views. I don't know how much we're going to get done tonight, but we'll get some of it done. I don't have any of these. I don't have the right amount of lugs that I need. I thought I had a box of them. I only had 2. I guess the first thing to do, we'll worry about that in a minute. The first thing to do is we're going to strip this wire back. We're going to come up through this bottom of this box. I'm going to run the wire outside the cabinet. That way the switch is on the outside of the box, and the wires to the switch is outside the box. Of course, it's going to be wire. There'll be wire inside the box. I didn't get a plate for this dimmer either. Cover plate, that's all right. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I figure I can go right through there into the cabinet. Or maybe I ought to go out the bottom. Yeah, we'll go out the bottom. That'll keep most of the wire out from inside the box. This is, I mean, this is not really modeling, but it is, you know. You'd be surprised how many guys don't know how to wire this stuff up. Close enough. And it basically tells you in the instructions how to do it. I mean, I would hope. If it doesn't, I got an idea what I want to do. Good evening. So, now this switch that I bought is for up to 600 watts incandescent. We're only going to run a 250 watt heat lamp. So we'll see what happens. I got the thermometer here. We're going to see how hot it gets. It's like wiring a car, basically. This ain't my good stripper, but should be okay. Okay. Power coming in. We're going to need to do that to this other wire too, because this is the wire that's going to go to the socket. We can run two wires out of there. I'm not supposed to, but we ain't doing anything to code, but I don't want anything to catch fire either. This should be fine. Yeah, let's see what I'm doing here. There we go. If I run this on the Variac and I run a light duty fan, I should be able to vary the fan speed too, because this is, like I say, it's 600 watts. I don't think that it 250 watt bulb pulls 600 watts, but I don't know. I'm willing to take the gamble. I'm sure I could do the math, but I'll just make an educated guess. If anybody out there is an electrician can tell me how many watts or how much impedance is on a dimmer switch for 250 watts. I'd like to know. I don't think I'm going to be able to get two through here. Nope. So I got to knock on another plug. I still need some grommets. Let me leave enough here. I'm going to have grommets to go into the cabinet. Now, if you guys are interested in this, I'll do the whole project on the web. If not, I'll just do this and show you what I'm doing, and I'll do the rest off camera. You can expect this is going to take some time to get done too. Everything takes time. So this is my wire coming out. We're going to have like I said, we're going to have a plug inside the box for the fan. And of course, this stupid thing needs to be rotated that way. I guess I better get a straight plot. Don't fall off. I'll get a little hammer too. I don't have a nut for this. What the? Oh, shit. Oh, well, it's all going to have to come apart anyway, but at least we'll get an idea what it's going to do. I'll make a parts list and go to Lowe's tomorrow. Need rubber grommet, another one of these box, whatever you call these things. Unless I look in there and hang on just a second. Let me look in that box and see if I can find the nut for it. Should be in there. Should be there, but it ain't. Sure enough, it ain't there. Okay, don't worry about it till tomorrow. We're gonna keep you guys waiting. It ain't not in that box. So we'll just mop it up. And that's the way it goes. So this is to the bulb. I could drill a hole in that cabinet if I had a drill bit. It's about 3/4. I might have a 3/4 drill bit in the garage. Maybe it's a 1-inch. I don't know. That's gonna have to move anyway. For now, we're going to look at this switch. How to install. Well, that's a good idea. We'll read that. Up. Okay, this is up, so it goes in this way. It's going to have to go through this right here. I get it mocked up and get a temperature on the bulb. We'll see what kind of heat it's going to put out. Another thing, I've used a porcelain vase. There's not enough room for me to have a box in there for the vase to sit on, so I'm going to put it on. I made some 1/2 by or 3/8 by 3/4 wood insulator for it to sit up off the floor on, so that the wire can run underneath. I'll drill a quarter-inch hole in the base of that and put these self-tappers through the porcelain vase and through that and bolt it to the bottom of the box. So we got basically everything thought out, I think. Okay. We know that white goes to green, and we got 2 different colors here. Black is the power. That's got to be hot. Well, we better look at the direction. All right. Let's see what it says here. I hope they got a wiring diagram. Yeah, they do. For light switch to one location. Boy, that don't make sense. They got 2 blacks inside the box. What the hell's that about? Okay, install with confidence. It says 300 watt. Gauging and deframing. D-rating is necessary if you mount 2 or more devices side by side. No, we're not going to do that. English. Install with confidence. Shut the power off. Pull hard. Got it. For lights, switch to one location. Red goes to black. Black goes to black. I don't understand that at all. So it says here, use the blue connector on the white with the red with the white stripe. So we'll do that first because that goes to nothing. Three-way or switch to 2 locations. Nope. Nope, we ain't got that. Oh, I get it. I see how they're doing it. Red to black, black to... So this here, black and solid red wire on the dimmer are interchangeable. Okay. Got it. Figured out. Okay, so we want the blue connector on this. You don't need this. I got to go out and get the insulation to put in this box. So this job will not get done tonight, but we'll get the bulb working, maybe. Okay, so I would say the black coming in here, the black coming in here, the black coming in here goes here. And the red goes to the black going out. Ground wire is bare green. Well, I don't have, I guess I could put a loop on it and ground it to that. Okay, so the red goes here. Oh no, we'll just do green, green. Green all the way. There we go. We can ground the box later. When I put the, I got a switch here that's going to be able, so I can plug my jigsaw, and we're still going to be able to use the jigsaw on top of the hot box. But we won't worry about that tonight. I need some other parts for it. Okay. So white to white. green to green, and the green goes here. Hopefully this will work. I might have to get that one of them big wire nuts. This maybe. I got a big one that I can put on it. If not, okay. This goes up. All this crap goes inside here. I need to get a face plate for this. You know, I went there and they don't have any metal boxes. These are old metal boxes that I bought 10 years ago. And maybe 8 years ago when I wired this upstairs. I use metal instead of plastic. Now everything's plastic. We're going to screw this to the outside of the cabinet, and I will ground this to the outside of the cabinet, but there's no ground. There's no ground on the light fixture, so I got to ground that somehow. So I'll run, oh, that's what I'll do. I'll run that right straight to the cabinet with an eye. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Now, I'm by no means an electrician. I'm a mechanic. But all this stuff is pretty basic shit, especially one wire stuff. Read the directions. Always remember, black goes to gold and silver goes to neutral. Okay. I don't want to push this on all the way, but well, we'll get this on. There we go. All right, this is the wire coming out. Now I need to know how long this wire needs to be before I cut it. So I'm going to run down the box and across the floor. It's going to be here, so it's going to be 2 foot down, a foot over. So we'll make it 3.5 foot, and that way I got plenty of wire. Three and a half foot away from the box is the light. We'll make it 4 foot, and I'll cut them off. Of course. Four foot, that way. I need to cut that off, I can't. Now, this other piece of this extension cord is going to be connected to this base here, so that when I run the rheostat, the fan can go up and down. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I can find a 120 volt fan, 6-inch 120 volt fan, but we'll look for it. Most of them are 12 volt and shit like that. I might cut a hole in the side of the cabinet to have the fan. Well, if I do that, it'll be drawn. No, I don't want to do that. I want to leave it inside the box. Let's see. Yeah, this will be fine. We'll go ahead and put eyelets on these. So we got black to gold. White to silver, green to ground. So I need to see if these are big enough holes, eyelets, to go in here. They look like it. Now, of course, these are going to be captured. Nope. Okay, good. Hey, I found the nut. I got the nut right there. Good. Don't have to do that part. But I still need the grommets. Let's see here. Yes, they will work. Okay. So there's two lugs in this. I will jump off the other side of the lug for the fan. I want to screw that back in there while I'm waiting. We're trying to get this together. I need to take this back apart and get that nut on there. But I'll do that off camera because this is going to take a bit to get going. Okay, so first thing I want to do is get this on here. This is ground. And blue is the center one there. I need to get my snap-on pliers out of the garage. These are terrible. Okay, that's gonna go to the box. This is gonna go to the gold. Yeah. I'm showing this because no matter what you do, any project you're do it just like you would a model airplane. Perfect. Don't try to do it perfect. You don't want to half-ass crap. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to come out the side here. I guess it really doesn't much matter. This will go. Let's do the ins. I can't believe there's no crossover there. I guess they're expecting you to put it in a box, but we ain't putting it in a box. Let's go this way. So silver goes to white. I don't have the room to jack it up another 2 inches, whatever that is. I mean, that's the correct way to do it, have this in a box, but I can't do it. Should have a plate just like this and a box. But with the wood isolator, it should be fine. Remember, always gold to black. You hook it up backwards, you plug it in, it'll blow the breaker. That's the same with the light switch. So we need to drill a couple holes there for isolators. I'm not going to get this mounted in the cabinet on screen here tonight, but we'll get it wired up, and I want to get a temperature on how hot that bulb gets. That should be fine. Hey, Gary. Okay, if we did our job right, it won't flip the breaker. I believe I'm okay. Oh, that would have been a disaster. I'll put the ground up that way. The ground was touching the gold. That would have flipped it for sure. Flipped it for sure. Oh, yeah. Okay, where's my thermometer? Ooh, that baby's hot. One 143, 146, 148, 150, 160, 170, 180. 190, 200, 208, 9, 207, and about 210 degrees. Okay, let's throttle it back and see where that is. Probably have to wait for it to cool off. So we'll let it cool, and then we'll see what it comes up to on half throttle. Because I want to cure these parts at about 150 degrees. Post-cure them. Now I can also heat the molds and get a better part, according to Dan. So we shall see. I think that baby's going to stay hot for a bit. 210 degrees. I need another nut, though. The jumper off of this box over. Actually, I need another metal box because this is 1 inch. This is 3/4. The jumper over to here so I can plug in my jigsaw so that it's not on a rheostat. And then the other wire will come off the bulb for the fan and have an extension cord on the end of it. So that the faster that, the brighter the bulb, the more the fan move the air around inside there. You get that cabinet pretty damn hot. Okay, let's try half throttle. $175, 170, 180. Let's throttle it back a little more. We'll let it cool off for a minute. Just run it at slow speed. Pretty damn warm, that's for sure. That's 200 still. 290. Probably going to have to let it cool. Let it cool and bring it up slow and see what it does, because I had it full throttle, so it'd probably go to 300 degrees, that bulb. I don't know how hot it'll get inside that cabinet, but with it insulated and the door closed, it should bring it up to whatever the bulb is. And that cabinet's big enough that I can put tank molds and landing gear molds inside there, so I can cure this in the box, in the mold. So this, that'll be super good, super good. When you get a part from me, it's guaranteed. I mean, it's going to have my name on it. Well, Stunt Hanger's name on it. I'm going to put Stunt Hanger on it, so you know. I think I'm going to do that. Well, I can't do that with the tanks, but I'll know who made the tanks, because my tanks don't look like Windy tanks. Different material. Yeah, I tried making these gear once before with Easy Lam, and they sagged because the resin was the wrong stuff. But this HDR 250 has a 250 degree post-cure temperature. That means it can sit out on the tarmac and get to 250 degrees and it's not going to sag. That Easy Lam is not made for high heat. So let's sand on this while we wait for that to cool off. It'll be just an hour program. I'm going to cut a hole. I don't know. Maybe not. I'll drill a hole for this wire and use a grommet to fish it through. Now, Danny has been a super big help. I mean, he knows composites. I'm basically just learning, but I got a good resource with Dan. I just ask him a question, he tells me the right answer, and comes out perfect. Learn to follow directions. That's all I can say. So after I get this sanded here, we're going to wax it and then shoot PVA on it. And then I'll glue. I'm going to have this mold ready to go for tomorrow. As soon as that stuff gets here, I can pour it. Now tomorrow's layup is we're not even making gear yet. We won't be making gear for 2 or 3 more days, probably till Friday. But I'm just tooling up to get the tooling ready to make the best possible product. So what I've done with this aqua green stuff is get all the pinholes out of it, so that when I mold it up, it doesn't have any big boogies in it. It's a nice set of gear already. I'm not working, so I got to keep Stunt Hanger alive somehow. Just work on making this stuff. parts. Danny had urged me to make parts 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever it was he come back. Said, you need to make parts. Well, that's what I'm doing. Don't want any imperfections in this at all. I don't want anybody to go, hey, what are you going to do about that? Nothing. It'll be perfect. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get out the calipers and start measuring these and make sure they're both exactly the same. Because I know somebody will whine, hey, well, how come one's 3 thousandths bigger than the other? Don't worry about it. Okay, that'll be good. Stopped at Steak and Shake. I don't know if you guys have a Steak and Shake around you guys' place. Went in there, expected to sit down, and have a waitress wait on us. Nope, self-service at the kiosk. I could not make that kiosk work. It didn't work at all. And the guy at Harbor Freight today couldn't make the cash register work, and it kept declining my card. So I called up the bank and I said, hey, why are you declining? Well, it says that it tried to, they tried to put it through, but the teller didn't push the button. Okay, whatever. That's when I bought this stuff today at Harbor Freight. That was kind of disappointing to go into Steak and Shake because I hadn't been there since COVID. You find 3 people behind the counter, and you got to be your own waiter and cashier. So I won't be going back there. It's cool now. Let's let that heat up and see what it gets up to. Boy, it's nice. That is nice. Smooth as a baby butt. I'm glad I put that plate carbon up there too. That'll make it nice and flat. Okay, let's see what this is now. I can go lower. Yeah, let's idle there for a minute and then check it again. Right there is 185. Building a poor man's autoclave. I do mean poor. If it wasn't for the last order, I'd be doing this caveman way. But I took that money and invested it in tooling so that I could produce these better. Okay. Let's, oh, I want to measure that. Like I said, I want to hear any whining. Yeah, all the way throttled back is where it's going to have to be for 160. All the way back. Wires ain't getting hot, so we know that's, yep, that'll be it right there. All the way throttled back. Turn it wide open to get the box hot, and then throttle it back. That puts out some heat. Okay, calipers, let's measure them up. Mm. 130. Yeah, close enough. And this way, 635. Yeah, 20 thousandths. So this one's a little bit wider by 20 thousandths. Let's see here. 635. 625. 10 thousandths different. Close enough. Anybody gonna bitch about 10 thousandths and kiss my butt. This here is 1 and 50 thousandths. On this side, it's 1 and 48 thousandths, so that's close enough. Yeah. Sparky CNC. Let's see what the thickness is at the tip here. It's 1 and 50. 1 and 50, so that's good. And up here it's 1 and 15. 1 and 10, so that's 5 thousandths different. If you guys are going to complain about 5 thousandths, I don't know what to tell you. I do know what to tell you. Make your own. Are there any guys that would be interested in them 40 size gear? This is 60 size gear. I mean, I don't want to cut my buck up if nobody's going to buy them. I know that I'll sell these. Probably sell a buttload of them at the World. If they're nice, you know. Not every airplane has tanks, fuel tanks, but every airplane has landing gear. Okay. Wipe it down with alcohol, wax it up, and we'll be ready to go on that. And then I can PVA it. And tomorrow I'll make the mold. I'll finish the hot box tonight. I gotta unload that cabinet. All I got in there is screws and stuff. Put the screws up on the table. I need to get rid of that oven that I bought, that toaster oven. It's no good. It just, it's either wide open or nothing. That's nice. That is nice. This is how you can tell it's a quality part. Now, don't worry about the acro green because that won't show on the finished part, but the finished part is going to look just like this. It'll be just that shiny when it comes out of the mold, just that smooth. Well, I guess nobody's interested in 40 size gear, so we'll work on getting this done. And I'm going to work on making rev up props. I have a rev up prop. This was made by Bob Whitey or White. It's not Bob Whiteley, but Bob Whitney. No offense, Bob, but this is a crude prop. It's got all kind of porosities in it. And it's too thick. So let's measure that up. It doesn't have the magic, it slips. So we're at 205 thousandths right there. 205. 13.6. That's 15.6. 14.6. And I don't have a 13.6 handy. But I got one right there on my airplane. Let's see here. That's 210. Yeah, it's 20 thousandths thicker right there. We're going to thin it out. I'm not going to make a mold off this one because it's all kind of porosities in it. I'll make a good mold out of a regular rev up. But I'm going to undercamber it, thin it out, because this prop is heavy as compared to a rev up. A rev up is 6/10. Let's see exactly what it is. If I can't get rev ups, I'm going to do it myself. Rev up is 6/10, and this one is 1.2 ounces. So there's way too much resin in this. It's stiff enough, but it slips. It doesn't work. So we're going to work on getting some rev up props made. Maybe I'll make some 13.6 EWs. This here is a prop that I made. This is a Zor, which you guys have seen, but there's no porosities in it. But this doesn't have enough pitch in it. It's a 14.4, about 14.4, and it's pretty stiff too. We're gonna work on those. I like this. This is gonna work good. Heat that cabinet right up. All right, that's going to do it for this evening. Showed you how to wire this thing. You know, there's nothing to any of this stuff. Just think. Think. They don't teach kids critical thinking, so if you're under 40 years old, I don't expect you to have critical thinking. But I'd say 35. What the hell happened to my other isolator? There it is. Drill a couple holes in this to get the isolator, and put these self tappers through to hold that to the base. Put that to the base of the cabinet. I'll ground that. So that's going to do it for this evening. Anybody have any questions? Probably not. I mean, it's kind of boring what I'm doing, but it's all part of the carbon setup. You want to do a good job, you got to have the right shit. At least that's what I found. The guy with the best tools usually wins. Let me put this together real quick, and then I'll end the stream. Like this. If you make a mistake, don't you got to fix it. This ain't a mistake. I just didn't see that nut. But ain't no big deal. Undo 3 wire nuts and put that on there and hook it back up. So we got white needs to come up. Well, all of them. White needs to come apart. The black goes to red on this side. And the green goes to green. Really screwed that up. It's been over pretty damn good. I do not know what's going on with my channel. We don't have the traffic we used to have. Unless you're not interested in this stuff. I mean, this is all modeling. I guess you guys are just interested in sanding balsa wood, painting. But it's just like when I do the headliner in my car. It's all modeling. When I paint the door with spray can, it's all modeling. It's all the same shit. You know what? I'm going to take this top off so I can get at it better. Okay, where's the flat blade? Right there. See, all I got to do when I get ready to drill a hole in the cabinet and screw that in the base and screw that to the box, and we're ready to go. Okay, that's that part. So it's red to black. You know, if you're going to have an inspection, you don't have a ground wire or whatever. You can cheat by jumping it to the neutral. Shouldn't tell you that. Neutral and ground are on the same bar at the breaker box. They're both grounded to the case at the breaker box. So the green, and green. I get my clines and make a nice, my fake clines, make a nice twist on that. My Irwin clines. Oh, these are cobalt. Terrible. Don't want to do anything there. There it is. Remember this saying too, loose wires make fires. They don't have any loose wire nuts. Okay, we're good to go. I think that was a wise idea to put this on the outside of the cabinet, insulated from the light. I think this switch would get pretty damn hot in there. It might still get hot even with the insulation inside there. But we'll deal with it when it comes, see if it does. You get in there. There it is. I might just forego the fan until I find one. I won't bother wiring it up till I find one, then I'll wire it up because it gets wired down here anyway. And this jumper across here doesn't much matter either. For now, we'll take care of that at a later time. But I do need a switch plate for it. I'll put a dial on it. Hey, Roy. If you're interested in hot box wiring, this is what this video has been about. Pretty basic stuff. At least it is for me. I mean, some people may not have a grasp on electricity, but make sure you read the directions. Don't listen to me. Read the directions. You know, a lot of guys, first thing they do when they get something is throw the directions away. Well, as a mechanic, first thing you do is read the directions. Somebody way smarter than me designed all this shit, so. Okay. Just wait till you see what I do to my car. I got a inverter. I'm gonna, when I take my seat out and build a platform in there, I'm gonna have 120 volts in my car. So when I go to Brodak, I can watch TV in the car. Okay, let's plug it in, check my work, and then we're done. Yep. Good to go. That's it. Put the bulb in the box so I don't ruin my $11 bulb. But actually, I got about 50 bucks tied up in the hot box. The cost of the box is, I think, $10, so $60 total. The box and the electrics. If I had to buy an autoclave, it'd be $1,000 or better. Of course, it'd have climate control and all that other BS, but this will work just fine for what I'm doing. Get rid of this. We don't need this no more. I don't know what that is. Don't need it. Yep, the directions are right here. We'll keep the directions inside the box. Or yeah, I'll make a plate when I get the plate for this. I'll draw on the plate. There's a mark on this right here. I'll take the temperature. This is 150. This is 300. You know, and then halfway in between will be the split. It gets pretty damn hot, I can tell you that. Pretty hot. Alrighty, I'm sorry that I bored you to death, but like, subscribe, and share. You know, if I wanted to, I could have a short extension cord if I bought another plug at the end of this. shit, they wanted $7. They wanted $7 for a plug at Lowe's. Wonder if Harbor Freight's got a plug. Said all it needs is a stick into the wall. Shit, stupid. All right, I'm going to work on this off camera. I've got my grinder here. I'm going to cut a hole in the box for this stuff. Get a drill, and I'll go out in the garage and get that foam insulation to get inside there and insulate all that. We'll have that ready to go for tomorrow, I hope. But be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment after the video if you would. That helps the channel a lot. That goes towards engagement. This month has been super bad on super chats, on engagements. We're off by 55% from last month. I don't know if that's the content that I'm doing, or if you guys are just tired of this, or I just don't know. But we'll figure it out. We'll get her together. Alrighty, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.